So when you signed with New England, what was it Coach Vrabel told you that he wanted your role to be?
Man, to be honest with you, I was when I signed here, I was down for any role, man. I was just happy to be a part of an organization that was used to winning, doing things the right way, having the families involved. And every conversation that I had with Coach Vrabel was about, family, asking about how my sons were doing and things like that. And that was a guy off the bat that I was like, man, like this is going to be a good relationship.
And then their top pick ends up being an offensive tackle. What's your relationship like with Will Campbell?
Uncle Will, man, it's been great, man. I think the biggest thing is for me is that like I didn't know how much I could learn from him, and I tell him, man, and I tell him laughing, right, because like I got 3 boys and stuff like that, and I tell him all the time like I learn more from my kids than they probably learn from me, and I wound up learning more from Will throughout the season. That he's probably learned from me, just the relationship that we've built, being bookends, being able to protect, our quarterback Drake May, and just building that relationship on and off the field. I told him day one, I said, there's things that you've done in college that I didn't get to do 12, 13 years ago. The football has changed so much, and so I'm picking his brains, or if I'm having a bad game, he's like, look, man, you told me the same thing 2 weeks ago when I had my bad game, like. And when you can have that relationship in the locker room, man, and build that brotherhood and that camaraderie, this is what you get.
What have you learned from Will?
Not how to be a stupid rookie, No, I'm
Yeah.
playing. Man, how he carries himself, every day, man. We work after practice, we work before practice, we talk through practice on techniques and different guys that we'll see, and then I'll see Will do something. I'll be like, hey, Will, like talk me through this. Like, what are you envisioning yourself on Sunday when you take this pass set? And he'll tell me those things, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I can sprinkle this into my recipe. And so when you're able to come into a locker room and not only just give information but receive information, especially in year 12, right? Like that means the sky the limit for you.
Yeah. You get to the playoffs, you're going to see some of the best pass rushers out there.
Yeah.
How have you given him advice through this stretch run?
One thing about Will that I love about him, man, is that he's hard on himself, man. Like he wants to be great. His attentions of just not being average is what sets him apart from a lot of people. It's hard to be a rookie offensive lineman, come in, protect the blind side, learn all these techniques, learn all these different schemes and things like that, but then line up against some of the best pass rushers every week. And that's the difference between college, where like you might see a guy for 1 week and you might go 4 weeks without seeing anybody. But this, it's the playoffs, you go against Houston, you go against the Chargers, you go against the Broncos, and that's in the playoffs. That's what you want, right? Like you look for these moments to go out there and be able to block and protect MVP quarterback and go out there and establish yourself as a young, dominant football player. And so with that comes with ups and downs, just like anything in life. And so, I just tell them like, hey, when we have trials and tribulations, man, keep your head up and push through it, because at the end of the day, man, like you have an opportunity to play another game and correct those things and rewrite the story.
I need the story of when he got hurt and the hyperbaric chamber came into play. Come on now.
Well, when Will got hurt in Cincinnati, first of all, man, like he thought the world was like, he never had been hurt before. So when it happened, he was like, yo, this is over with. Like, I'm getting my leg amputated. Like
he thought it was a wrap.
He thought it was a wrap. And I was like, no, bro, like, it's okay, bro. I tore my MCL meniscus last year, played 14 games with it. You'll be all right. And automatically his switch turned on of like, yo, how can I become a vet early on? How can I start taking care of my body? So between me and Garrett Bradbury, who we've both been in the league for some time, we were like, look, you need to do this red light. You need to get dry needles. You need to have, people around the clock that you can talk to mentally, how to get through it mentally, when you get back on the field, that you don't have to worry about, like, is my knee okay? And then I was telling them about the hyperbaric chamber, and I was like, you know what, Will? Forget it. So one morning I woke up and I'm like in sweats, bro. I'm sweating through the house, trying to drag this hyperbaric chamber out, put it in my truck, bring it to the facility, set it up for Will. But for him to be able to learn his body at a young age and young in his career, it's only going to benefit him down the road. And so him starting that process of, trusting us as his brothers, that we're not going to lead him down the wrong way. It's been a blessing for all of us, man. We've been able to learn from each other, little gems and things here, and it's just made us who we are.
So you got the screwdriver out and the whole thing? Took
Bro,
this thing apart?
everything by myself, bro. Backpedaling up the stairs, like it was, yeah. Anything for Will, though, man. That's my guy.
I feel like that's love right there, man.
No, for sure.
Yeah. And so he's got a relationship with your kids now.
Yeah.
How'd that come to be?
Well, our lockers are beside each other, and he knows how much, especially like, having 3 sons, and they play everything. I coach them in the off season, and they're in the locker room all the time, and so, for me it's a special moment because it's, they get to see me as dad every day. They get to see me as, my dad plays in the NFL, but when I want those Roblox, those Robux, I'm calling my dad for those Robux,
Yes.
And so to have a relationship with the guys in the locker room like Will, man, and, just for him to set the time off, after games, or, I can be on FaceTime in my locker with them just chatting, and he'll snatch the phone out of my hand. What's up, nephews? And just to build that relationship, man, for my kids, man, they'll always remember this. I mean, they'll always remember not only did their dad do great things throughout his career, but like the guys that he was surrounded by, the people he kept close that picked him up when he was down or encouraged them through tough moments. And I think when you can have that relationship with somebody, man, this is a brotherhood and this camaraderie we built in our locker room for a lifelong time.
You've been around a lot of locker rooms. Something feels different about this one.
Yeah.
What is it?
I said it in my first interview here when I signed here, and that you didn't have to have superstars to win games or to go to the Super Bowl or go to the playoffs. You needed a DNA, an identity, and guys that were willing to sacrifice things, and that's what we did, man. That's what we've done since we've been here. We've Coach Graves set the identity marker of us just traveling with our identity, what that looks like, but also getting to know one another. We had this thing called the 4 H's, which we got to learn about everybody, where they came from, background, their heroes, their downfalls, things that they've dealt with in life, and that brought us together because at the end of the day, we sacrifice a lot of things, right? We sacrifice family time. I sacrifice times to see my kids play sports, and you lean on your brothers that are going through the same thing to create that atmosphere and that brotherhood and that family atmosphere for you. So being able to have that, man, it's just been it's been undeniable, man. And I think when people turn on the TV and watch the Patriots play, they can see that this is a tight-knit group.
Who's the alpha on this squad?
Man, I think the tricky question, who's not, right?
Yeah.
We don't have one set person. We don't have one set leader. We have guys that come collectively together, and some days it's Steph. Some days Steph comes in and he's hot. He's on one. Some days it's Matt Collins. And what you see is it's different varieties of ways people lead that has nurtured this team from April when we started this thing. And I think when you can have different identities and not different identities, but different people speak and lead in different ways, it allows people to, especially the younger guys, the rookies, to see like, hey, like you don't have to be a 10-year vet or a guy that's played a lot of snaps to lead. I can lead in any way, in any facet way I can.
Who is the person that's made the biggest difference in your life, and what would you like to say?
Dang, that's gonna cause tears, bro. I'm gonna say my children, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Legend, and Natalia. Everything that I've sacrificed and that they sacrificed for me to be in this moment now, to be able to share this with them and know that they see me in the light, that they're happy to see that their father is doing something, accomplish something that's never been done in our family. It's a great deal of love and respect from them, and so I appreciate them.
Is there an old friend out there, teacher, coach, you want to give a shout out to?
Oh man, I would say my high school coach Bill Bowles. I would say my little league coach Rick Green, for just encouraging me to push on through tough times, and putting that football in my hands and knowing that I can do great things with it and believing in me before I could believe in myself.
Walk
Got you.
Love it. That was awesome, man.
Appreciate you, baby.
Such
Yes,
a
sir.
pleasure, man.
Always,
Such
yes,
a
sir.
pleasure,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.